Okay, so we are just starting our today's class. We have already heard the previous class. We are discussing about a very wonderful book, Spiritual Connection. It is written by ISKCON Guru Sannasi Bhakti Dhir Damodar Swami Maharaj. By birth, he is an African devotee and is a disciple of the famous Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, who was the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj described in this book very beautifully the mysterious relationship between Guru and his dear disciple. In previous class, we were discussed about the first chapter, and the first chapter was not complete in our previous class. So we shall first complete today the first chapter, and then we shall start discussing about the second chapter. But before that, I want to say something about the whole book and the contents of the book. Mataji, please share the contents of the book. Then we shall be able to realize how nice, how important is the book. We are seeing the chapter one is surrender, which we were discussed about in your previous class. And the chapter two is why a living guru, the necessity of a living guru. It will be discussed today. Next, chapter three, the mercy factor. Chapter four, Guru's order. Chapter five, why chastisement. Chapter six, love and cooperation. Chapter seven, the worship of Sri Guru. Chapter eight, protecting the grace. Chapter nine, Guruship. Chapter 10, progressive discipleship. So we just told the heading of a chapter. We have already shared the PDF file of the content and first chapter. And I'm sure all of you have gone through the PDF file. So I expect that all of you are already aware about the beautiful and the very important content of the book. And in the first chapter, the headline, the heading is surrender. The subject matter of the first chapter is surrender. In previous class, we discussed that even Lord Ramchandra, he surrendered to Vishwamitra Muni. So, what to speak of ourselves? And what is the process of surrender? We discussed that there are three phases in the process of surrender: pranipata, pariprashna, and seva. And we discussed in detail about the three phases: pranipata, pariprashna, and seva. Now we shall start today's discussion. What is the result of surrender? What is the result of three stages of surrender: pronipat, pariprashna, and seva? Here the subheading is Guru is the door to Krishna. So we shall now discuss about the result of surrender. Before that, we are just sharing our thinking about this series. There is no homework, but if you want, you can realize this class. You can share your realization in some sentences in English in the relevant group. It is allowed. So if you want, you can share your realization and please participate in the quiz. Every Tuesday, there will be a quiz about the previous class. Please participate in the quiz, and there will be 12 or 14 classes for this book. And at the end of the series of the class, we shall share the grand total of the marks of the quiz you have got. And we shall announce the first, second, third person for this whole series. So please participate in the quiz and please study the book. We shall share every chapter of the book after the class. Okay. So just hear the class and then go through the PDF file. Then you will have a thorough knowledge about the book, which is very much necessary. Or you may have the book from ISKCON Mayapur book table or from Amazon also. It is available in Amazon. So now we are starting the next subheading. Guru is the door to Krishna. Result of the surrender. Maharaj discussed here, even in material platform, if one surrenders himself to the authority, then it is the duty of authority to give him protection. We know that in battlefield, when one soldier surrenders, then his rival group, rival militants, they never kill him. It is the natural process. When we shall surrender, we shall get protection. And who among us don't want protection? Is there anyone who don't need any protection? I think there is nobody who will say that I don't need any protection. Rather, we all are so minute, so small entity that we should always seek for protection. How shall I get protection? How shall we get protection? We shall only get protection if we surrender. Otherwise, there is no hope for getting protection. So the result of the surrender is we shall get protection from whom? From the illusory energy that is called Maya. So first thing, we would get protection from Maya by our Gurudev, spiritual master or spiritual teacher. And the other thing is, when we approach Guru by surrendering ourselves, then through Guru we can approach Krishna very easily. In our material life, we also we are also informed that if you want favor from a very great personality, maybe from a minister, maybe from chief minister, or whoever maybe, if we get favor from that person, we shall approach through a person who is very near to him or very near to her. If we want favor from chief minister, then we shall approach through a very dear person of the chief minister, and then we shall easily get the favor of chief minister. Idea is the same for Krishna also. If we dare approach directly, Krishna will never be happy and we may never get the mercy. But if we approach through a very dear disciple of Krishna, very dear devotee of a Krishna, who is the Gurudev, then we shall have the mercy of Krishna very easily. Also, regarding the purity of our consciousness, it is said that we cannot become pure by ourselves. It is not possible. We cannot be pure by our own effort, individual effort. But by the mercy of pure devotee, we can get purity easily. So, for that reason also, we should surrender to Gurudev so that we may have purity from the pure soul, Srila Gurudev. There is another consideration. If we want to enter into the spiritual world, then we should be situated in the platform of prema. And how shall we be situated in the platform of prema? What is the process? We should be chanted with prema nama. We should be chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra with prema. Not just we shall utter the words without any love. Then we shall never be situated in the platform of prema. We should have love for Mahamantra. We should chant Mahamantra with love. Then we shall have prema. And the process of chanting Mahamantra with love is that we should associate with somebody who had already prema with the Mahamantra. And who is that person? He is our beloved Gurudev. So when we shall surrender to our Gurudev, when we shall associate with Gurudev by surrendering ourselves, then only we may have prema to the Mahamantra. So it is the secret. Associate with Gurudev. Otherwise, our kirtan is without prema. There is a Bengali poem. সেই দ্বারে আচণ্ডালে কীর্তন সঞ্চারে নাম প্রেম মালা গাঁথি পড়াইল সংসারে। নাম প্রেম মালা গাঁথি। Nam should be uttered with love. And we should have that love by the association of pure devotees, by the association of Gurudev and other pure devotees. And how shall we get the association? By surrendering ourselves. The next subheading is receiving the eyes to see Krishna. How shall I see Krishna? Firstly, I have to acquire adequate qualification. To see Krishna, we have to prepare our eyes. And to prepare our eyes, we have to simply prepare our ears so that through our ear, we shall have our pure vision, and then we shall be able to see Krishna. And all the process will be guided by Srila Gurudev. Maharaj wrote here that as a hungry person, upon having a proper meal, feels nourishment and satisfaction. Similarly, a person sincerely practicing the process of surrender sees the due results in his life. So, we have discussed in detail through our previous class and through today's class what is the method to surrender and what is the outcome of surrender. Now we shall discuss how shall we understand that we have already surrendered or not. How shall we judge ourselves to which extent we have surrendered or we have not surrendered at all? What is the self-examination procedure? The effect of surrender will be seen in how we react, how we relate, how we deal with everyone and everything around us. This is very, very important. Action is compulsory, but reaction is optional. We have seen that in train, in buses, in roads, when some actions occur, then the material persons react in a wrong way so that the problem increases. This Yug is Kali Yug, world of quarrel. What is our duty? To go up the temperature or to go down the temperature? This is our self-examination process. When we shall travel in bus or in train or in any public transport system, or even when we shall walk through road, there will be immense of facts, there will be immense of phenomenon which will occur in front of us. How we will react for every action, that will declare how, to which extent we have already surrendered. If our reaction is almost similar to the reaction of material person, that means we have never surrendered. But if our reaction is totally different from a material person, that means we have surrendered a little bit. When we travel by buses or trains, someone may insult us. How shall we react? Someone may insult pure devotee of Krishna. How shall we react? Someone may insult Bhagavad Gita. How shall we react? Those reactions will declare how surrendered we are. For personal insultation, humiliation, we shall never care for it. But when somebody humiliates our Gurudev, our Param Gurudev, pure devotees, and Krishna, then we shall express our deep anger to them. So, in this way, our reactions are the answer sheet of the question paper arranged by Krishna. Every day, we have to sit for the exam, and the result, it is seen by Krishna, and seeing the result, he will prepare for our next examination paper, question paper. We have to be very careful to sit for every exam. According to the percentage of our surrender, our result will be affected. 80% surrender means 80% marks. 50% surrender means we shall get 50% marks. Simply by the grace of the spiritual master, a person can fulfill life's purpose and attain eternal peace. Okay. Now, we are known about Acharya Ramanujacharya. He is a very famous Acharya of Sri Sampradaya, and he was a very wise person about our scriptures. Lord Ramanujacharya wrote volumes of books explaining the science of devotional service. And those books, the subject matters of books are so tough that his disciples were inadequate to read and to understand those books. Then those disciples approached Lord Ramanujacharya and they told that we cannot able to read your books and realize those. Then how shall we proceed in our devotional service? Ramanujacharya, he smiled and he said, to our surprise, that all that I have written in all my books could be boiled down to one single word. I can make a summary, synopsis of all my literature to a single word. And that single word is the last word in religion, that is surrender. So he wrote volumes of books just to make conscious his disciples about the importance of surrender. And If we already realized the importance of surrender, and if we practically surrendered ourselves 100%, that means we have realized those volumes of books. Just think how important is the term, single word, surrender. How important. Actually, when I go through this book, I regret, why shall I not read the book previously and before my initiation? But this book is written in the year of 2019. So it was not possible to read the book before my initiation. But okay, we shall study this book right now very vividly, discuss it, and we shall try to realize the excellent relationship, divine relationship between Guru and disciple, so that we can serve our Gurudev in the best way. And by virtue of that, we may have the highest position, prema. Okay. Now there are some questions, answers after each chapter. Maharaj very beautifully arranged the chapters. First question, if a disciple is chanting Hare Krishna, but he is disobedient to the spiritual master, will such a disciple go back home, back to Godhead? Maharaj said, if one disobey his spiritual master, then he is chanting not Krishna Nama, but chanting just alphabets. Chanting alphabets does not mean that he is chanting Nama. There is another Bengali poet, Namakkar Bahirai Bote Tobu Nam Kobhu Noy. Namakkar, alphabet. One may chant some alphabet like Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Those are just alphabets. Those are not the Nama. But when one surrender to a devotee, and when he gets some blessings for a devotee or from a pure devotee, then he may be able to chant Krishna Nama perfectly. So we should not chant just alphabet. We have to chant perfect Krishna Nama. And so we have to obey our spiritual master, spiritual teacher, and all the senior Vaishnavas. When we are able to chant Shuddha Nama, the spiritual master will, okay. It is another very, very important and very amazing uh, thing here described. Just listen to it. How we shall be allowed to enter in the spiritual world? Very beautifully discussed. We need a resident of the spiritual world who will invite us to join him in the spiritual world. Okay. We should require an invitation of a resident of the spiritual world. And who is that person? Certainly, he is the Gurudev, or he is the Param Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. when shall he invite us to enter into the spiritual world? The answer is when we shall be able to chant Shuddha Nama, perfect Nama. Then the spiritual master, he will invite us to join him there, spiritual world. So spiritual master, he is waiting in the spiritual world. He is expecting us to chant Shuddha Nama. And when we'll be able to chant Shuddha Nama, he will send us invitation. Just come here and join me. This is the secret. And when we shall reach to the spiritual world, how shall we identify who is my Gurudev? Gurudev would not be there in his previous physical body. It is sure and certain. If we ever able to reach Krishna Lok, we shall see Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada would be not by his previous physical body. Then how shall we identify him? We need not identify him. He will identify us. Okay. We need not identify our Gurudev. Our Gurudev will identify us. It is the love of our Gurudev. He has sent invitation and he will receive us. He will be the first person in spiritual world to receive us to that world for engaging ourselves in the eternal service of Krishna. Okay. So first chapter is closed. Now we shall start the second chapter. Chapter 2. And in the content, the chapter 2, it is written here, why a living Guru? The Parampara continues, the need of discipline, remove the cataract, not the eye. A living Guru is easily accessible to us through parallel lines. Guru comes when a disciple is ready. Wonderful topic. Wonderful, just. We may not complete the total whole chapter 2 in today's class. Actually, we have no hurry. Okay, we have enough time. We may go slowly, then it will be easy to realize the class, the chapter, and to implement the lessons we shall learn from the classes to our spiritual life. Until and unless we implement those teachings, then what is the use of undergoing the class? So we have to implement, we have to apply, we should have some practical application of these lessons. That is the secret of the class. So we shall now start the chapter 2. The first line is, wow, what a rare fortune. Maharaj wrote very beautifully. What is the case? Whose rare fortune is depicted here? This is a scene of Dwarka, Krishna's magnificent palace. Krishna is present there as a king, and he had thousands of queens, an immense of maid servants helping the queens to serve Krishna. One of the maid servant made the comment, "Wow, what a rare fortune." Why she made this comment? What was the fact? The fact was that she saw a wonderful phenomenon in Krishna's very intimate and confidential room, his bedroom. There was a Brahmin with very shabby and old dress. Each of us know that Brahmin is Sudama. Krishna was worshipping that Brahmin. Krishna was very respectful to this Brahmin, and he was taking care very seriously about the Brahmin. Maid servant was surprised. So she made this comment, "What a rare fortune." Because the king is taking care of a very poor Brahman. And the maid servant was so surprised that she standed there and she listened to the conversation of Krishna and the poor Brahmin. Actually, they were absorbed in remembering their old school days. Where were their school? Please raise hand. Where were their school? Yes.
Ujjaini, Shandipuni Mani there.
Ujjaini, at that time, it was the name of the Ujjaini was Avantipur.
Avantipur.
Avantika, Avantipur. Avantipur is the old name, actual name. Now it is well known as Ujjain. So at that place, Krishna, Balaram, Sudama, and many persons, they were admitted to Gurukul led by Sandipani Muni. When Krishna was in Vrindavan, then Jasodama and Nanda Maharaj, they never tried to teach Krishna something. They never tried to send Krishna to any Gurukul or any boarding school. In Vrindavan, Krishna just played. He was a cowherd boy. He just enjoyed that life. But when he went to Dwarka or Mathura, then Vasudev and Devaki, they were very much worried about the academic career of Krishna. So they sent Krishna Balaram to the boarding school of Avantipur. Sandipani Muni was the principal of that boarding school called Ashrama. So Sudama and Krishna was absorbed about remembering those happy school days. And Sudama asked a question to Krishna. He asked that Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord, you are the omniscient, you are the Almighty, you are the omnipotent, but still you went to ashram like an ordinary boy. And not only you went there, you reside there for several months and you serve Sandipani Muni like a servant. I am being wondered, being the Almighty Supreme Lord, why you served Sandipani Muni? Because you are the source of every knowledge. Is there any lacking of knowledge within you? Is there anything which is unknown to you? Then why you went there and served Sandipani Muni? Sudama was surprised. And Krishna answered to all of us that when a student learns from his guru, then actually he gains the blessings of the guru, which is very much needed to him. Blessings of Gurudev is compulsory to progress in our life. And then they discuss about a fact that once the wife of Sandipani Muni, their Guruma, she told to collect some firewood for cooking foods. Sudama and Krishna entered into the deep forest for collecting some firewoods. Unfortunately, there all on a sudden it starts raining, a heavy rain with thunder and very cool wind. And it was winter season also. You know, in Ujjain, winter season is very tough to tolerate. So cold is the temperature in winter season. So Krishna and Sudama went to the deep forest in the winter season, and there was raining, cats and dogs with thunder, and they were just shivering in biting cold throughout the whole night. And just for getting some warmth, they embraced each other tightly throughout the night. Try to imagine the God is shivering in cold, and he wanted to just have some warmth. And for that reason, he embraced his friend so tightly. Whole night they spent in that situation. And in the next morning, their Gurudev was also very much anxious about them. And Gurudev entered the forest. Gurudev saw them and Gurudev bestow his mercy, blessings to Krishna and Sudama, seeing their surrendering attitude. Now, one thing Maharaj very nicely pointed out, Krishna is the Almighty. Guruma has told to collect some firewoods. So if Krishna ordered the deity of the forest, supply some foreign woods, then trucks of foreign woods will be supplied there. Isn't it? If Krishna orders some demigods, Indra, Varun, just go and bring some firewood. Will not they abide by Krishna? Shreyasi, what do you think?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji. Of course, they will abide by.
Then why Krishna himself, there is some problem in your mobile. Mute. Then why Krishna himself went there in the deep forest and suffered so much cold throughout the night? Why? What is the reason? Govinda Priya Mataji? What is the reason? What do you think?
It is his pastimes. I'm going to shower his mercy upon his devotees and to get the association of his devotee, our Sudaman.
Okay, all right. Is there anybody just want to add some more point? What was the reason? Achita Priyasi Mataji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam. Because it was his Guru's orders, Guru Ma's order, that's why.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bimal Krishna Prabhu, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
I apologize to you. I cannot open the video as I am now in unavoidable circumstances in hospital. Sorry
Okay,
for
okay,
that.
okay.
This question is very important. Krishna is very good planner. He is universe. He is all right. He can do everything. But why he is suffering in the forest? The question from my side, I can tell that only to teach the people like us, as we are in
Yes,
materialistic world, for future reference, he has done like this.
wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
You are not only a material doctor, but also you are a very learned spiritual person also. Okay, that is the right answer. To teach us that Guru is not a fashion. Srila Prabhupada told one person, he has taken a Guru as fashion, and when someone enters into his apartment, he used to show him some pictures. This is my father, this is my Doberman, and this is my Guru. So with same respect, he used to show those pictures. His father, his dog, Doberman, and his Guru. We should not take Guru as a fashion. Krishna, by his own behavior, by his own dealings, he taught us so that we should not merely accept our Gurudev just by fashion, but we have to accept our Gurudev so that we may be disciplined by him, by avoiding his order and by getting his mercy. And when a disciple is obedient and humble in front of his Gurudev, then only there is some hope in front of him for progressing in spiritual path. Otherwise, there is absolutely no hope. No hope. So, to set a good example, he accepted a guru and he abide by his order, every order, so that we can remember his pastimes in Hare Ashraya channel, and we may have some practical applications of his dealings with his Gurudev. In this way, we learned that we should accept our Gurudev very seriously. We should associate with our Gurudev by his Bani or by his Bopu, whatever may be available. We should serve Gurudev. We should abide by his order. So we have to preach Krishna consciousness. That is the order of every Gurudev of ISKCON. So there may be some chance in front of us to have the mercy of our Gurudev. Now the question is, why a living Guru? Actually, this is part of this chapter is the syllabus of IDC. Why a living Guru? Okay. In IDC course, there is a quotation by Srila Prabhupada. Tasmat Gurum Prapadet Jiggasu Shreya Uttamam. We may have some inquiry, or we must have some inquiry, and for that reason, we should approach to Gurudev. Gurudev has realized the absolute truth, and he will advise us about the absolute truth. The qualification of Guru is not only he has realized the truth, but also he has the capability to convince one about the absolute truth. That is the qualification of Guru. It is said here, spiritual life begins with one's entry into a spiritual school. Spiritual knowledge is also perfectly learned from a living Guru. Therefore, approaching one is not an option, it is a must. Approaching to a living Guru is not optional, it is compulsory. Very similar to material education. If we just hang a picture on your wall of a very great teacher, will it be sufficient to have knowledge from him? No. You should have admitted to a school or college and we should learn from our teachers and professors. So for every school and college, there is necessity of living teacher. not just the portrait of teacher. You may hang up a portrait of teacher in your bedroom and you may show your respect to him. That is another thing. But you should be associated with a living teacher. You should inquire to the teacher, and the teacher should correct us, inspire us, and if necessity, the teacher should chastise us. In this way, one day we shall be able to master the subject. That is the process. And the bona fide spiritual master is a transcendental professor. So as like as the material education, we shall require a spiritual, transcendental, living professor for getting some spiritual education. Srila Prabhupada told a very beautiful analogy. He told that without the attentive service of the parent, a child cannot grow to a proper human. Just consider the case. An orphan who has no guide, no teaching, nothing else, how shall he be converted to a perfect person, a learned person? Chance is very low. Because he has no guardian, he has no parent, he has no teacher. There are many persons who is spiritually orphaned. They don't try to accept a living guru. Why? Why they don't want to accept living guru? There may be several reasons. Many of them, they told that we may have guidance from within. It is their argument. Many of them says that guru is everywhere, so we may have guidance from the nature and from everything. Anyway, they refrain from accepting a physical authority, a living authority, so that they may have the freedom to do whatever they like to do without being accountable or without having any apprehension of chastisement, punishment, or correction. Those people don't, they are not agreed to accept any chastisement, accept any punishment. They want to open the freedom of doing whatever their material mind instruct them. They are the servant of their material mind, their material senses. But if they accept a living guru, then he or they have to abide by the rules and regulations of guru. And if they fail to abide by those regulations, they should have some chastisement or punishment or humiliation. So they refrain from accepting a living guru. It is their argument. And there are another category who thought that yes, there is necessity of accepting a living guru, but I am helpless because in the whole world there is no pure disciple, pure devotee whom I may select as my spiritual master. They thought that after the departure of Srila Prabhupada, there is no pure disciple, pure devotee of God in the whole world. This is also not correct. This concept is called the Ritik. Okay. Those persons who believe in the Ritik system, they used to say like that. There is no other pure devotee except Prabhupada. So according to them, the Parampara system has got a full stop after departure of Srila Prabhupada. Now we shall discuss whether the Parampara is continuing till now or it is not. It is a very vital question. What is the meaning of Parampara? The meaning of Parampara is continuation. Parampara means continuation. Transcendental knowledge is preserved, protected, and passed on in Parampara. In the same way, a ripe fruit is safely passed down from the high top of a tree to its bottom through a series of expert hands. Srila Prabhupada gave the example very often. There may be a ripe mango in the top of the tree. How shall we have the mango? Through Parampara. Through some expert hands, if the mango comes down by some hand to hand, if it is transferred, then we may have the ripe mango intact, not smashed. In that way, Parampara is there. Parampara is continuing till now and it will be continued. Sri Krishna has started the Parampara. We have learned in Bhagavad Gita in 4th chapter, Evang Parampara Praptam, Imam Rajarsayo Vidu, Sa Kale Neho Mahata, Yogo Nashta Parantapa. Santosh Kumar Roy Prabhu, do you remember the verse?
হরে কৃষ্ণ, দণ্ডবত প্রণাম প্রভুজি।
Yes.
এবং পরম্পরা প্রাপ্তম স্মরণে
Imam Rajarsayo Vidu,
রাজার্ষয় বিদু
Sa Kale Neho Mahata,
সকালে ইয়মিহতা সংসিদ্ধিম
Yogo Nashta Parantapa.
নষ্ট মন্তব্য।
Okay, thank you. So who has created the Parampara? Lord Krishna. Who is maintaining it? Lord Krishna. Then who dare say that Parampara has been stopped? Where is your authority to say it? This is due to their lack of knowledge. We don't agree with it. Parampara is there, Parampara is running. Actually, these words are just blaspheming Srila Prabhupada. today is the holy disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. And we should glorify Srila Prabhupada every day. But if any devotee say like that, after Prabhupada there is no pure devotee, then actually he is blaspheming Srila Prabhupada. Because this concept, means Srila Prabhupada was unsuccessful about train his disciples so that they may be pure devotee one day. Shall we accept this? Srila Prabhupada was unsuccessful in his mission to create some guru, to create some pure devotee. Prabhupada said that ISKCON is the factory of pure devotee. Everyone belonging ISKCON, they are pure devotee of God. Prabhupada said. But nowadays some are saying that no, after departure of Prabhupada, there is no pure devotee. But we can prove that even after departure of Srila Prabhupada, there are immense of pure devotees. How shall we prove it? We have practical evidence. For any transcendental movement, it requires some pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada started this movement. He was a pure devotee. He established 108 temples in his life. But after his departure, has the movement stopped or it is increasing day by day? We'll say, Dhurjyoti Prabhu, unmute yourself. Has it been stopped or it is increasing day by day?
Not to it is increased day by day. It is all over the world spreading the temple.
Now it is over 600 temples. Okay. Srila Prabhupada established 1008 temples. Now there is more than 600 temples, Vedic farms, gurukuls, and so on. So, if there are no pure devotees at present, how the movement is expanding more and more every day? So the statistics proves that there are many pure devotees in this movement till now. And by virtue of that, this movement is going on more and more. Isn't it? It is very easy to realize. Okay. Shall we discuss more or shall we invite for some questions? Sreyosi, what are you trying to tell us?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I hope that you can discuss more on the topic.
You want more? Dil mange more. Okay. Yes, the young person have inspiration much more than the older one. It is quite possible, quite natural. Okay, we should discuss a little bit more. So we have proved statistically that after departure of Srila Prabhupada, there are many more pure devotees, and ISKCON is directed by those pure hands. So it is increasing and it will increase more and more. So there is some bona fide guru in ISKCON now, and we should surrender to any of those bona fide guru according to our choice. Srila Prabhupada told, for one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. Because the living guru provides discipline. And until and unless we are disciplined, what is the hope to progress more? We have to be disciplined. And Gurudev, he will make us disciplined by his affection, by his inspiration and guidance. Being conditioned souls, there are many defects within us. We all know there are 4 major defects. Please raise hand who will discuss about the 4 defects. Everyone, we have 4 defects. Kanak Kanti Prabhu, please unmute. Which are those defects?
So, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So, the 4 defects are in Bengali, it is Brahm, Pramad, Karuna Patav, and Vipralipsa.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. So, we all have 4 defects. Brahm, propensity to do some mistakes. Pramad, propensity to be illusioned. Vipralipsa, propensity to cheat others. And Karna Patav, imperfect senses. So we all have many defects within us. Who will correct ourselves? Who will correct our defects? Who will inspire us in correcting those defects? That is the Gurudev. But you may say that at the present system, is it possible by any Gurudev to correct his disciples? Actually, GBC is also thinking very deeply about it. Because if any Gurudev has thousands and thousands of disciples, then is it possible for him to correct his disciples personally? Is it not? It is not possible. You may say, yes, Gurudev is not, it is not possible personally by Gurudev, but there are many representatives of Gurudev. They are taking care of us. But we have to agree that the divinity and purity of Gurudev will not be equal to the divinity and purity of the representatives of Gurudev. Isn't it? The representative of Gurudev, or you may call him as mentor or Shiksha Guru, whatever it may be, he may have many impurity, incompleteness, lacking of knowledge, and so on. So the guidance will not be proper one. If the teacher has lacking of knowledge and purity, then the guidance will not be pure one. There will be improper, impure guidance, and the disciples would be uh, disciples would suffer from that impure teaching. That is a problem. And GBC is very much worried about it because quantity is huge, but there is lack of quality. Every disciple is not trained enough to conduct properly, to show Vaishnav Sadachar. And there are many surprising bad report about many devotees. These things are going on. Many are cheating in Mayapur. If we go to Mayapur and there are immense of pure devotees and there are some cheaters also. Single flat is sold twice. Single land is sold twice. They are also devotees. There are some of them they got Brahmanical initiation, but they are not any other's control. So there may be some lacking in our system, and GBC is deeply thinking about it. The problem is that gurus are very limited in number. There are millions of devotees, and if there are only 30 and 40 Gurudev, is it possible for 40 Guru to train a million devotee? So GBC is thinking about this fact, and in future, it may happen that there will be thousands of gurus to train personally the devotees. Okay. GBC is thinking about this fact. And who can say? Anyone from you may be posted as a guru in future if GBC wants. Okay. Because this is a demand of the society. Society is increasing very rapidly. But who shall guide us? Who shall control us? Who shall teach us? A disciple, he is surrendered to his Gurudev, but he is not so surrendered to any other person than Gurudev. So Guru can control his disciple better than anyone. So demand is that ISKCON should have many more gurus. And there are immense of pure devotees. So there is no problem if the system demands more guru. Okay, in future we shall see what is the decision of GBC ultimately. The devotees who are supporting the Ritik system, their argument is that after departure of Srila Prabhupada, there were below 20 Gurudevs in ISKCON. And among them, many Guru fall down. there were fall down of many gurus. The Gurudevs themselves violated the four regulative principles. Then what to speak about their disciples? This is very unfortunate fact, but it is truth. At that time, 1980s, some Gurudev, they left ISKCON, they left this movement, they violated these four regulative principles, and their disciples, they suffered very much. Just think about it. If a disciple sees that his guru is violating four regulative principles, his guru left the movement, then what will be the condition of the disciple? And observing those facts, some disciples, they are saying that after Prabhupada, no perfect guru is there. So district system is the only system who can, by which ISKCON can survive. But it is their wrong concept. After 1980s, we have corrected our system. The GBC is very strong. After giving any devotee Guru Seva, and after 1980s, there is hardly any example of falling down of a guru. So there were some problems indeed, and somehow or other we already have come out from those nightmare, we may say. Now the problems has been solved. There are nice systems of bona fide guru, and we should surrender to any living guru. And an argument is that if there are some cataract in eye, just we used to remove the cataract, not remove the whole eye. Isn't it? There may be some problem in our eye. That does not mean we should operate and remove the whole eye. But we should operate and remove the cataract. So if there be any problem to some personal guru, then correct those gurus. Don't stop the parampara system. Who we are to stop the parampara? Krishna himself has started the parampara. Srila Prabhupada strengthened those parampara, inspired the parampara. Then who we are to stop the parampara forever? What is the Shastric injunction? This is just foolishness. Okay, 1.5 hours is gone. So we have to stop for today. And we shall share the second chapter PDF file in the group. You may go through the chapter, or you may have the book from any source. And please participate in quiz. And after finishing these books in 3 or 4 months, we shall start another book, maybe Salted Bread or any other famous books which is not available in Bengali, just in English version available. So we shall study some English books, and in this way, we shall try to improve our communication skill in English, to write some realization in English, to hear in English, and to speak in English. So we should try to interact in the class more and more. Please help me in that regard. I want you to interact more in the class so that all of us shall improve our skill more and more. Okay. Now, if you have any question, you may raise your hand. Rangolekha Mataji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Firstly,
Dandavat Pranam.
thankful to you for getting such a beautiful class. And here, I have a question, and the Ritik Bad, about the Ritik Bad, and it is very important problem, and it becomes a burning problem as well. That we got some knowledge about Ritik Bad from our IDC course and as well as today's class also. And nowadays, we see some people, some devotees is become more popular in our public networking site. And among us, somebody sharing their post also in our timeline. Because lack of knowledge about them. But what is my point of view against them? It means in future, suppose this kind of people or devotees who following the Ritik Bad will come to me in front of me and argued about this, then what is my duty? If then is it my duty that I show my humbleness to them, or this is my duty that I also argued the actual thing that they are wrong? They also break the parampara or guru parampara. So they preach in normal type. They also said Krishna is the ultimatum, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and we are the servant. It is our duty to give Krishna the loving devotional service. But the actual disturbance is they not follow the parampara. They are the breaker of parampara. So what is my duty against them?
Okay, very nice question. Thank you, Mataji. Next day, we will discuss about two parallel lines suggested by Srila Prabhupada. We should follow through two parallel lines. One line is Krishna, other line is Gurudev, living Guru. And for those, the followers of Ritik Bad, we should preach that they are standing on a single line. When a train is going through parallel lines and one line is broken, then what is the future of train? And we should preach to them that actually they are blaspheming Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has no pure devotee. Then Prabhupada was unsuccessful to make some pure devotee. So actually they are blaspheming Srila Prabhupada and they are blaspheming Krishna. Krishna has started the parampara system. Krishna wants the parampara to go on and they want to make it stop. Then they are against the will of Krishna. They are against the will of Srila Prabhupada. So it is their fault. It is a very wrong approach to spiritual progress, and you should try your best to convince them so that they can reject this Ritik path. Okay, it is our duty to convince them according to our capacity. We should try. If we should try to convince them, Srila Prabhupada will be happy with us. Okay. Thank you. Santosh Prabhu, please unmute.
Dandavat Pranam. How I can introduce this channel, and I have a collection salted bread, Bengali version. It is
Okay.
by Chittagong. Chittagong is gone.
Okay.
English Bengali version.
Oh, is it already available, Bengali version?
It is published by ISKCON Chittagong.
Yes. Okay. Maybe it is available in Bengali. Later we shall decide about the next subject of our class.
Prabhuji, how I can introduce in your English class?
To whom? Why you want to introduce? You are already introduced to our class.
I want to get PDF and quiz
Okay,
English.
Are you not in our WhatsApp group, English WhatsApp group? Are you not
No,
the member?
no, still I have no this class. Follow this class.
We have shared several times our group link. I think you have not followed properly.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you just request your admin, and he will send you the group link. By clicking the link, you may join our English WhatsApp group, and in that group we have shared the PDF file and quiz also. So please join our WhatsApp group, and you will have every assistance in that group.
Okay.
Thank
Dandavat.
Dandavat. Shreyoshi, unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Damra Pranam. Prabhuji, as you mentioned in the class that without Gurudeva, it is impossible to understand Krishna and even the basics of bhakti. Then as we know that Bharat Maharaj was in the bhav state, then how could he go till that state without a Gurudeva?
Okay, Gurudev is there in heart also, Chaitya Guru. It is some, what can I say? There are some very fortunate person who is guided by the super soul. We are not so lucky like Brahma. Brahma's guru was Lord Krishna himself. Or for somebody, Paramatma as a Chaitya Guru may assist the soul about the spiritual life. But we are so fortunate soul. So we must have a living Guru. We are not so fortunate as the Bharad Maharaj or Brahma. So we must have a living Guru. Clear? And we also want to say about this fact that Bharad Maharaj from stage, he has to take animal body due to the want of living Guru. Okay. he has not completed his business in that particular life. He has to take deer body, animal body. Why? Because there was no living guru guiding him properly. So do you want to take animal body in next life? So please accept a living guru. Okay. And Gurudev will be very happy to accept a very sincere devotee like you. Okay. Thank you. Konok Kanti Prabhu, please unmute.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, so we have learned a lot today. Every day we are learning actually in your class. So I have just one observation from observation about one aspect. It is the taste of our degree of surrendering, how much we are surrendered.
Yeah.
So the taste is, as the author of the book says, that how we react, how we relate, and how we deal with everyone and everything. So I think this is a very important thing to test our degree of surrendering, how much we are surrendered. So this is really wonderful that we can make self-assessment through this test. And recently my own feeling is that since I joined your class and actually formally started my spiritual journey, so under your guidance, it is very recently, whenever I travel to a bus or I am in a marketplace, I try to see everyone that in everyone's heart there is Paramatma. So in my heart, Paramatma is residing. So similarly, he is residing in everyone's heart. So everyone is similar to me. So this attitude actually changes feeling and attitude a lot. And so this is very great. So I'm practicing it recently and finding joy. So that is one observation. And secondly, this point appears to me very important. It is that if a disciple disobeys his guru, then even if the disciple chants this Krishna Nama, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then it is chanting only alphabets, not the actual Nam. Namakkar bahirai bate tobu Nam kobu noy. So, but to get initiated in ISKCON, one has to practice this chanting 16 rounds before getting initiated. So at that time, that person is not having any guru. Then when that person practices chants that 16 rounds, so is that chanting only chanting of alphabets or what? So that appears to be problematic to me. So please guide us.
Yes, Prabhu, you have asked a beautiful question. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kiba Vipro Kiba Nasi Sudra Kene Noy, Jai Krishna Tattva Betta, Sei Guru Hoy. Who is Guru? Who knows Krishna very well? He is Guru. Okay. Diksha Guru is a Guru. Shiksha Guru is also a Guru. And those senior disciples who knows Krishna very well, they are also Guru. But in ISKCON, there is a system. GBC allows some devotees to act as a Guru. Okay. But besides those devotees, there are immense of devotees who also as pure as Guru, who also are as knowledgeable as Guru, They are not in the chair of bona fide Guru. But regarding the knowledge or purity, they are not much less than a Guru. So when a general person he associates with a devotee who knows Krishna very well, and under his guidance he is practicing chanting Hare Krishna, so that will also act very much. If he surrenders to his teacher, Krishna will accept his surrendering attitude, and he may chant perfectly. Okay. So there are many guru. Actually, our stand is that we shall consider every senior devotee as my guru. I am the servant, and all are my masters. I shall try to render my service to all the disciples, all the Vaishnavas. Is it clear?
Okay, understood, Prabhuji.
And have you
Thank you very
started
much.
chanting? Have you
Yes,
started
yes.
chanting?
Yes, not yet 16 rounds, but it's progressing by your good wishes.
How long are you chanting?
It's something like 1 hour
Okay. And where do you decide?
in Siliguri.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bimal Krishna Prabhu, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Puna. First, I
Dandavat
like to
Pranam.
thank you that you have arranged like this English classes. It is good achievement for us. Now my question is, the first chapter, very last portion of the first chapter, you have mentioned about surrender. First, I have one question to ask of you about surrender. The surrender, how can I understand the self-evaluation, the how much surrender to God, by whom under bless I have uh, taken surrender to God. And God is supreme judge, He is universe, He is a good teacher, He is inside us. How can I evaluate that my surrender like this? And what are the cardinal features that I have complete my surrender or partial surrender? Can you please tell me about surrender?
Okay. Surrender means when we see the term surrender from our material angle of view, then also we can see that surrender means we will have no personal choice. When a soldier surrendered to his enemy, that soldier would have no personal choice. Whatever his new boss ordered him, he has to execute his order. He will have no choice about his food, about his clothes, about his quarter, nothing. Surrender means I have surrendered all my choices, all my selections and everything. Now, from now onwards, what you will order, I shall execute. That is the essence of the surrender. Now, we may judge ourselves. Am I in that state? Have I left all my choices, all my material views? Am I ready to execute every order of Srila Gurudev? We have to judge ourselves in those regards. And when we shall surrender properly, then by the grace of Gurudev, by the grace of Vaishnavas, we shall have proper knowledge also. According to the percentage of our surrendering attitude, we should have Dibbogyan. Dibbogyan Hriday Prakashito means when Gurudev is pleased about our surrender, then by His mercy, we are enlightened with that transcendental knowledge from our heart. So it is such a process that we ourselves will realize that yes, my surrendering is acting now. I am realizing absolute peace, knowledge, and I see Krishna in the scriptures. I am realizing his orders. In that way, we shall understand what is the percentage of our surrender and our reaction. Already we have discussed about reaction. How are we reacting? Are we angry with some minimum insultation, humiliation, or we have the capacity to tolerate a huge amount of personal humiliation? In that way, according to our reaction, we may judge ourselves how surrendered we are or not. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you very much. So clear.
Tulasi Sumadhuri Mataji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dandavad.
Prabhuji, you have said that after our class, we'll get the PDF regarding this class. But I have a request, Prabhuji, that if you are able to share the PDF of your next class before, it will be conducted, then it will be much easier for me to understand your class.
Okay, we shall try. Thank you for your proposal.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Rangolika Mataji, unmute yourself.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry for the inconvenience. I am taking another chance to say something. That Prabhuji, I have taken some class note from today's class, and could I send the class note to you personally? This is my humble request to check the class note, please.
You may send it to the group also as realization.
Okay.
Actually, we all are learning. Okay, so
Okay.
there is no question of being ashamed because it is a new domain for us. So we all are learning. Okay.
Okay.
So you may send it personally or in the group also. That is your choice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So we shall end our class by Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.